ਦੇਸ਼ ਵਿਦੇਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੈਠੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਪੀਟੀਸੀ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਸਟੂਡੀਓਜ਼ ਤੋਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ। ਮੈਂ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹੋਸਟ ਗੁਰਮੀਤ ਸੋਢੀ ਔਰ ਅੱਜ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਚ ਕਾਫੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਬੜੇ ਚਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਇੰਤਜ਼ਾਰ ਸੀਗਾ ਐਂਡ ਫਾਈਨਲੀ ਦ ਅਨਾਉਂਸਮੈਂਟ ਇਜ਼ ਮੇਡ ਐਂਡ ਦ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਹੈਜ਼ ਬੀਨ ਰੋਲਡ ਆਊਟ। ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ municipal ID cards ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ recently Mayor Bill de Blasio ਨੇ roll out ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ with the program which was set up by Nisha Aggarwal who's the Commissioner of Immigration Affairs who's here with us in the studio today ਜੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣਗੇ ਕਿ exactly ਇਹ card ਹੈ ਕੀ, is there benefits ਕੀ ਨੇ and how people, thousands, hundreds and thousands of people ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੋਲ legal documents ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ basic ਸਹੂਲਤ ਮਿਲਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਿਲਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ but now all of that might be behind them. So with that, I welcome our guest Nisha. Hi Nisha, how are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here with us, and we understand this municipal ID cards, New York ID cards that we talk about, something that people have been waiting for a very long time, and last week it finally got rolled out with Mayor Bill de Blasio, and you were right there with him with this announcement.
Yes.
So now, there are hundreds and thousands of people in New York that don't have basic benefits that we take for granted, you know, be it opening a bank account or having something as simple as a library card or anything else that requires an ID for them. This card takes all of those pains away from them. So tell me exactly, what is this ID card?
Yes, so this is a city-issued government identification that people can use to get into city buildings like schools, hospitals, things like that, city agencies. They can also use it for their interactions with the police. So this is a card that the police will accept as identification. And it's a card that can help you open a bank account at about a dozen banks around and credit unions around the city. It can help you get you discounts at zoos and parks and museums around the city for you and your family. It's really a card that's meant to open the doors of so many of the different benefits and amenities of the city for all New Yorkers.
Now, from what I understand, this will only apply to people that are living in the 5 boroughs of the city.
That's correct.
So when we talk about the 5 boroughs of the city, that's New York, of course, Staten Island, Queens, Brooklyn.
And the Bronx.
And the Bronx, okay.
Yes.
So anyone who's living outside of these 5 boroughs, it doesn't apply to them in New York?
It does not. And unfortunately, you know, I spent the weekend at the enrollment sites in Queens, and we did have several people who came from Long Island, and unfortunately, they're not eligible for the card, though they could certainly advocate in Long Island for a similar sort of card or advocate statewide for a driver's license for all.
Okay, so now, so somebody who lives outside of the 5 boroughs, of course, cannot do this. But, you know, it also still, people are, when you talk to them about this card, you see a little hesitancy because a lot of people, we want you to understand that anyone who didn't have any kind of an ID, a state issued ID before, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ID ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗੀ, ਇਸ ਕਾਰਡ ਦੇ ਜ਼ਰੀਏ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇੱਕ ਲੀਗਲ ਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਲੀਗਲ ID ਹੋਏਗੀ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ different special sites ਤੇ apply ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ. But you know, there's still a hesitancy in people. Some people have been undocumented immigrants for a very long time. People have been here for 10 years, 12 years, and they've never had any kind of ID. If they got pulled over, God forbid, by a cop, they have nothing to prove for themselves. They want to open a bank account, they want to rent a house, they have to have someone sign for them. So they still ask this question that how, you know, when you go to apply for it, will the system not pick up that these people don't have any legal status in this country? Will it not make a red flag go on?
It will not. And the reason is we don't even ask about immigration status. So there's no questions, there's no screening, there's nothing about immigration status in this program. Literally the only eligibility criteria are that you live in the 5 boroughs and you're older than you're 14 or older. That's it.
Okay.
And so you can use your home country passport if you want to be able to apply for the card, and then present a bill, a phone bill, a water bill that has your address on it, and you you'd be eligible to apply for the card. It's that simple.
Are you even allowed to apply this with a cell phone bill? Because I know some places don't accept you can do this with a cell phone bill. What about if someone has a P.O. box address? Does that?
P.O. box addresses are a little bit more complicated, and the main reason for that is because, as I mentioned, NYPD is accepting this ID card for their interactions. And what NYPD needs is a home address. Where do you actually live? Okay. And so ideally people would provide their residential address, but they can, provide a handwritten lease from the landlord. It doesn't even have to be a formal printed lease. It just needs to say the name of your landlord, how to contact them, where you live, what your basic rent is, all the terms of a basic lease, and they can still apply.
Okay. So now you said something that, of course, no questions are asked. That and I'm going to actually translate this for our viewers as well in Punjabi so they understand. But there's another thing before I do that. You said that anyone can apply for this. So if someone has legal status in the country already, can they still apply, and why would they still want to apply for this?
Sure. So many people are applying who have driver's licenses, who have legal status, and the reason is because this card has so many benefits attached to it, right? Okay. Free membership at 33 of the top cultural institutions in the city, including like the Bronx Zoo, the Queens Museum, a range of different institutions like that. Prescription drug discounts are attached to the card. You just have to be able to show your card. Okay. Your ID card can also be your library card. It can actually be your library card at all 3 of the library systems in New York City. So there's a long list of benefits for this card that make it appealing even for people who have another form of ID.
Oh wow, okay. So anyone can, because I remember Mayor, when he made the announcement, he was talking about that he got his card, and I'm like, why would he need a card? I'm like, really, he needed this card? So, but you know what, then later on I was like, all right, wow, this does have some additional perks to it as well. ਤੇ ਨਿਸ਼ਾ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਕਾਰਡ ਸਿਰਫ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਲੀਗਲ ਸਟੇਟਸ ਹੋਏ ਇਸ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਅੰਦਰ। ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਲੀਗਲ ਸਟੇਟਸ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਕਾਰਡ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਸ ਕਾਰਡ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਰ ਕਈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟਸ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਨੇ ਔਰ ਇਸ ਕਾਰਡ ਨੂੰ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਫੋਨ ਬਿੱਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਹੈਂਡ ਰਿਟਨ ਘਰ ਦੀ ਲੀਜ਼ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਲੈਂਡਲॉर्ड ਕੋਲੋਂ। ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੀਓ ਬਾਕਸ ਤੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਐਡਰੈਸ ਕੋਈ ਪੀਓ ਬਾਕਸ ਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਥੋੜਾ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਿਲ ਹੋਏ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ NYPD ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੰਟਰੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਏ ਕਦੀ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਐਕਚੁਅਲ ਫਿਜ਼ੀਕਲ ਐਡਰੈਸ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਆਫ ਦੈਟ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਐਡਰੈਸ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਪਏਗੀ। ਸੋ Nisha, tell me, how can people go about and apply for this card? And you said this is applicable to anyone ages 14 and up.
Yes.
Okay. So anyone who's under the age of under 14 still goes under the parents' cards?
So 14 and under the age of 14 are not eligible to apply, but 14 and older, they can apply. We have some special rules for young people who are between the ages of 14 and 21. They might not have, for example, some other picture ID, so they can apply under their parents' name, and there's special rules around that. But this is how you apply. It's very simple. We are asking people to make appointments for their enrollment time. You can do that by calling 311 and just saying ID NYC and then making an appointment with the person who answers the phone for 311. Or you can go to the website, which is just www.nyc.gov/IDNYC. And right there at the top of the page, you can click, and then there's a button that says Book Now, and you can go to the appointments page. And you can scroll, and there are several different sites, all in the 5 boroughs, where you can go to apply. Right now, because there's a huge amount of demand, there are longer wait times for appointments. Okay. But we are constantly adding capacity, and so new appointment slots will keep opening up. So you don't have to go today. You can wait a week, and the cards will still be there, and you might even get some better times for yourself. And the last thing I'll say is a lot of people are standing in line, and they're standing in line to make these appointments. You don't need to do that. Okay. You can just call on 311, or you can go on the web from your own home. You don't have to wake up early in the morning and stand in line. It won't help.
Okay, but let me ask you, you said you have a lot of calls, so everyone is calling in for this. Do you have enough manpower and capacity to serve all these people that are calling?
Yeah, so the 311 system, we've been monitoring the wait times for the calls, and it's really down to about 30 seconds to a minute. So, nobody should hesitate in calling 311, and the website has the capacity to make 500 appointments a second. So, I think we're covered in terms of being able to respond to this level of demand. I think we should be okay.
Is there any preference? Actually, before I ask that question, let me just tell people what you just said, because I'll lose my chain of thoughts on that too. Nisha ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ basically ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਾਰਡ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈਗਾ, it's very simple. ਤੁਸੀਂ 311 ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, ਔਰ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਵੇਟ ਟਾਈਮ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ they're so well equipped with manpower, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵੇਟ ਟਾਈਮ ਸਿਰਫ 30 ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਜਾਂ 1 ਮਿੰਟ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਹੀ ਹੋਈ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, and you can take the benefits of it that way as well, but you don't have to go and stand on line. ਕਈ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਲਾਈਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਖੜੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ they might be able to have a better chance of it, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਫਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਏਗਾ. And because so many people are applying for it, of course ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਅਪਾਇੰਟਮੈਂਟਸ ਥੋੜੀ ਡਿਲੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਲਣ, ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, which is the easiest way to do it. Is there such a thing? Of course, we're not asking questions who's documented and who's not, but is there any way for someone, I guess that would really take away from it, if suppose I wanted to go apply for it, where someone who doesn't have a document wants to go apply for it, would they be able to book it faster? That won't make a difference because the system doesn't ask for it.
No, the system doesn't ask for it, but I will say this, I've visited the sites, and I spent all weekend at the sites in Queens, and it really is a cross-section of New York, and it's clear that we're reaching the people who most need this card. Mm-hmm. That is clear. I had hundreds of conversations with people, and then we're also getting people like you and me who want the card for other reasons, and so this isn't a card that's only for undocumented immigrants, but it's also not the case that that we're not reaching that population. So I'm really pleased with the balance of who's getting the card.
Oh, good. Now, if someone wanted to, you said there are centers in Queens and stuff like that, and I'm sure there are centers in New York City as well.
Yep.
So if someone does want to go and do this, where can they go? And then I also want to know, what if somebody doesn't speak English? Mm-hmm. How, what are the different languages that you have the prompts available, or how many staffers do you have in other who can speak different dialects, who can help people?
Yeah, so we have enrollment sites all throughout the 5 boroughs. For example, in Queens, 2 of them, one is at Flushing Library and one is at Jamaica Library. And what people should do is they should make an appointment, and they'll be given an option to choose the site that they want. And we're adding sites all the time. Okay. So you can look and say, okay, Flushing is very close to me. Let's see what date the appointment is at Flushing, and then book that way. And in terms of when you get to the site and language capacity, we hired, I think our entire enrollment frontline staff is bilingual in a variety of different languages.
Okay.
And we also have the ability to use phones, the phone system, to get languages that our staff don't speak. So the goal really is to be able to serve all of the diversity
people
of New York City.
Well, so of course, being a Punjabi channel here, I have to ask this question. Do we have Punjabi as one of the options on the languages there?
Yes, of course.
You do?
Yes, of course.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Okay.
And in fact, I believe there's a Punjabi translated application that's available.
On the website?
Yes.
Oh, great. So there you go. Well, ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਇਸ ਪੇਪਰ ਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਾਂ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਵੀ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਦੇ ਕੈਨ ਪਿਕ ਅ ਚੋਇਸ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਟਰ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਚੂਜ਼ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਆਪਸ਼ਨ, ਔਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਕਾਰਡ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਸੋ ਸਟੇ ਟਿਊਨ, ਅਸੀਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਵਿਲ ਟੇਕ ਅ ਸ਼ਾਰਟ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ। ਅਸੀਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਹੁਣੇ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਐਂਡ ਦੈਨ ਵਿਲ ਟੈਲ ਯੂ what are the other programs that are being offered through her department. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. ब्रेक तो बाद ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ। ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨਰ ਨੀਸ਼ਾ ਅਗਰਵਾਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, who is from the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs. ਤੇ ਨੀਸ਼ਾ, before the break we were talking about the New York City issued ID cards, which are helping hundreds and thousands of people all around New York's 5 boroughs. Now, I also want to know, there are so many other programs that are being offered by your department, by your office, and Mayor's administration. So tell me a little bit more about the other programs that are offered by the department.
Sure. One of the things we've been thinking about a lot is just how do we get immigrant communities access to good legal information, right?
Okay.
Whether they're green card holders and they want to become a citizen,
okay,
or if they have other legal needs. And so one of the things I did want to mention are our citizenship programs. We actually have a big workshop coming up at Flushing High School on Saturday, where people can register and then they can come and they can have a lawyer's help for free filling out their citizenship application.
Okay.
And they can even get financial counseling to help pay for the fee, or get a small loan if they don't qualify for a fee waiver. So that's a really popular and successful program of ours.
And that's offered, it's just a one-time thing you guys are doing this workshop?
No.
Or this has been ongoing
It's
also?
been ongoing. So we do these workshops roughly once a month, and
Okay.
we're thinking about other ways to expand. You know, a few months ago, Mayor de Blasio announced with the mayors of Los Angeles and Chicago this initiative called Cities for Citizenship. And the idea is that cities should support their residents in becoming U.S. citizens. It's both good for those people, but it's also good for the city in terms of the economic benefits that we can get. So that's the reason why my office has been working with CUNY to do these workshops once a month in all of the different 5 boroughs. We rotate around, and New Yorkers can get help filing for their citizenship.
Okay. You know what, Jisra, I would just want to really quickly tell our viewers कि निशा दा कहना है कि एक और प्रोग्राम ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹ ਲੋਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਆਫਿਸਰ ਐਡਮਿਨਿਸਟ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਥਰੂ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਗ੍ਰੀਨ ਕਾਰਡ ਨੇ ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਟੀਜ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਇਸ ਸੈਟਰਡੇ ਨੂੰ ਫਲਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਕੁਈਨਸ ਲਾਇਬ੍ਰੇਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਰਕਸ਼ਾਪ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ ਅਟਰਨੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਐਜੂਕੇਟ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਨਾਲੇ ਗਾਈਡ ਵੀ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੇਪਰ ਵਰਕ ਫਿਲ ਆਊਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਔਰ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਫਾਈਨੈਂਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮਸ ਵੀ ਅਵੇਲੇਬਲ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੀਗਲ ਫੀਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਹੈਲਪ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਸੋ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਸੋ ਦੈਟਸ ਅਨਦਰ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ that you can take benefit of that. Now, Nisha, for that program, where can they go to get information online about that?
They can go to our website, which is www.nyc.gov/immigrants, or they can actually call our office to register. It's 212-788-7654.
Okay.
And folks can register for this weekend or for the subsequent workshops as well. And this weekend will actually be at Flushing High School, not
Flushing High School.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to make sure that Flushing High School te hoega, library te nahi.
And you have to register before because spaces fill up.
The spaces fill up. Okay,
Yeah.
so make sure you do that. That's the key word to it, that you have to register ahead of time. Nisha, also tell me, for business people then, what kind of programs do we have for people, minority-owned businesses or women minority-owned businesses? What kind of programs do we have?
Yeah, so my office works really closely with all the other agencies in city government, and one of the agencies we work with is Small Business Services, and they just launched a program called the Immigrant Business Initiative, and the idea behind that is to help small business owners, particularly in the immigrant community, figure out how to navigate all of the regulations and rules that you have to start a small business, get the classes and the support information that they need to be able to run their business. And that program is run out of the New York City Department of Small Business Services. Again, it's called the Immigrant Business Initiative, and folks can go onto the website for Small Business Services and look it up there.
And one thing that I know is very important when we talk about small business administrations and stuff like that, a lot of these people don't speak English. So, that's a big barrier because they don't know, one, where to go get this information or how to go about and get this information, okay? So now that they know where to go, the how is done, but the barrier is still there that they don't speak English. So what about trying to educate these people to speak English, to understand a little bit more, and get familiarized with the process?
Yeah, so a couple of things on that. One, I think one of the really brilliant things about the Immigrant Business Initiative and what under Mayor de Blasio's administration we're trying to do is actually bridge that language gap.
Okay.
So these programs for immigrant small business owners are actually in the language that the business owners speak.
Okay.
So instead of having it only in English and only in Manhattan, we have across the 5 boroughs community-based organizations that are working with the small business owners in the languages that they speak. So that's one thing that's important to emphasize. And then in terms of English language classes, there's unfortunately always been long wait lists and things for English language classes, but the libraries are incredible providers of English language programming, and so I have to recognize them. I think it's the largest English language programming in the city is through the libraries. And we have a program called We Are New York, which is a DVD or a kind of online program that you can watch, where it has different themes like emergency preparedness or different themes where people can both learn about that issue and also practice their English. And so that's something that can be downloaded from our website as well.
Okay. And when we talk about English as second language, ESL programs, I know they're also offered through some schools and stuff like that. So public schools also have programs like that.
Yes,
that
absolutely. And Chancellor Farina of the Department of Education just significantly expanded some of the language programming. And I think over the next 4 years, next several years, you'll see a continuing focus on this issue.
Okay, and I know we're going to be running close to our time pretty soon. So before we go, a big thing that we're hearing about through the immigrant community is a statement that President Obama had made, the executive order, talking about the legal status for the immigrant community. So I want you to tell our viewers a little bit about that, because I think that is a huge thing that's coming out soon.
Absolutely, it's huge. So the president made this announcement. The kind of main piece that folks should know about is the policy announcement that will provide some temporary protections from deportation and work authorization to immigrants who either came to the United States as children and are currently undocumented, or to the parents of U.S. citizen or green card holding children. So both those groups of people would be eligible potentially for protection from deportation for 3 years at a time, and also for work authorization. So they would be able to legally work in the United States, among other things.
Okay, so explain this to me a little bit. I'm just going to ask you a little bit more about that. When you say that they will be protected from deportation every 3 years, what does that mean? They have to reapply every 3 years for this program?
Yes, exactly.
And has this new program been rolled out yet?
It has not. So the first phase of it, the one for individuals who arrived as children, that had rolled out 2 years ago, and some people already started renewing. The program has been expanded, so it now covers more people, and that expansion will start in February, towards the end of February. The parents program, which is the much bigger one, will start in May. So the main message I think that's very important for your viewers is that they should be very careful about who they go to for legal advice on this. There are lots of, frankly, shady notarios and other sorts of fake lawyers that are out there that are going to try to take advantage of people and charge them thousands of dollars for bad information about their cases. So what the city is planning to do is be able to share and provide information about good legal services providers and good information for people so they don't end up going down the wrong road.
And how can one go about getting this information?
We're going to start, we're ramping it up now since the program hasn't really begun yet. We're going to start doing screening sessions in March and April, and then in May, when the parents program launches, we'll actually have the ability to serve people in application service centers around the city.
ਤੇ ਨੀਸ਼ਾ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨਰ ਅਗਰਵਾਲ ਦਾ ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ ਕਿ there is a program executive order ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਟ ਓਬਾਮਾ ਨੇ ਰੀਸੈਂਟਲੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਚ ਕਿ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਜੋ ਅਨਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟਡ ਹੈਗੇ ਇੱਥੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਇੱਕ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਕੱਢਿਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ। ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਹਾਲੇ ਪੂਰੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਲਾਂਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ, ਫੈਬਰੂਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਾਂਚ ਹੋਏਗਾ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਯੂ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਬੀ ਵੈਰੀ ਵੈਰੀ ਕੇਅਰਫੁਲ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਨ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਐਵਰੀ 3 ਇਅਰਸ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਰੀਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਤੋਂ ਡੀਪੋਰਟ ਨਾ ਹੋ। ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਲੀਗਲ ਸਟੇਟਸ ਜਾਂ ਲੀਗਲ ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਸੀ ਸਟੇਟਸ, ਟੈਂਪਰਰੀ residency status, is that what it is?
It's not actually a temporary green card, so it's just protection from deportation and work authorization, but it doesn't create a path to citizenship.
Doesn't create a path to citizenship, but even then it's some kind of a relief for people if they have legal working documents, they're paying taxes and so forth, that's going to help them. ਤੇ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ you have to be very careful ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਫਾਰਮਸ ਭਰਵਾਓਗੇ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੇਪਰ ਵਰਕ ਕਰਵਾਓਗੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਕਾਫੀ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਅਟਰਨੀਜ਼ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਪੈਸਾ ਲੈ ਲੈਣਗੇ and then you're stuck, you're just going in circles with them. So just be very careful. February अंदर इन्होंने program launch करना हैगा और parents के लिए May अंदर launch होएगा. So just be on the lookout for both of them. And of course, we're going to continue working with your office to keep rolling out the information as it rolls out to people. Absolutely. So basically, the first thing right now that people need to do is go out there and apply for these ID cards, which is the big thing. Now, before we go, one last thing that I heard Mayor announce at that press conference was these cards are going to be free for the first year. After that, there's a small, very nominal fee for it. We don't know what it is yet.
We haven't decided yet, no.
And are we certain 100% that there will be a fee?
There will likely be a fee, but we haven't decided that yet.
So anyone who gets in for the first year, through the first year, are they grandfathered in that they never have to pay? or is it a renewal that people have to do?
So the card lasts for 5 years.
Okay.
And so for 5 years, people won't have to worry about it, and then they'll renew, and there might be a small fee. But by fee, we mean $10, and for folks who can't afford that, there's a fee waiver. So you shouldn't worry about trying to get in while it's free, because if you can't afford the small fee, we'll still waive the fee.
So either way,
you'll be fine.
They'll be fine. So great. Well, thank you so much, Nisha, for all this information. We really appreciate it.
Of course.
And we thank you for coming here and sharing it with our viewers.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. ਤੇ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ I want to thank you all ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟਾਈਮ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਟਾਈਮ ਸਪੈਂਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਐਂਡ ਆਫ ਕੋਰਸ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋ ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਦੇ 5 boroughs ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋ please ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਦੀ advantage ਲਓ this is a great thing a new program that's been rolled out but in the long run ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਔਰ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਆਮ ਸ਼ੋਰ ਤੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਜਿਸ ਦੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਹੂਲਤਾਂ ਮਿਲਣਗੀਆਂ ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੈਂਕ ਅਕਾਊਂਟਸ ਖੋਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਘਰ ਦੀ ਲੀਜ਼ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਆਪਣਾ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਸਟੇਟ ਇਸ਼ੂਡ ਪਿਕਚਰ ਆਈਡੀ ਕਾਰਡ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ 311 ਕਾਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਰ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਔਰ ਆਫ ਕੋਰਸ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਸੋ ਵੀ ਵਿਸ਼ ਯੂ ਆਲ ਗੁੱਡ ਲੱਕ ਵਿਦ this and it's a great initiative that the mayor's office and of course all of you have put together so it's going to help I'm sure thousands of people out there with that we thank you all for watching our show and look forward to seeing you again soon Sat Sri Akal.